Hello, so today I'm gonna show you my dragonmaid deck profile for the new format. So first up, the deck's best normal summon, in the form of 3 copies of dragonmaid chamber. Next, 3 copies of parlor, so that you can dump your cards. Afterwards, 2 copies of kitchen as another extender. The single copy of laundry, single copy of nurse. Then for their dragon's form, 2 copies of Ernie, one copy of Night Lord, one copy of the kitchen, one copy of Lopar. Up next are the hand traps. 3 copies of Ash Blossom, as it's one of the best hand traps this format. 2 copies of Phantasmi, as this card can be used to fusion summon for your shoe. 1 copy of Effect Veiler for a name for your crossout designator, and a single copy of Nibiru. Up next are our one-off monsters in the form of Dino Restorer Pancratops and a single copy of Red MD to revive your monsters. Afterwards, 3 copies of the Dragonmaid Hospitality, as this card can actually combo you off by using your cards properly. Then the 2 copies of your Dragonmaid Changeover. It's most commonly used at 1, however I run it at 2 since I'm kinda scared of getting DD crowed like last time. The aforementioned crossout designator, as such as the other names, as well as cards that I am naming in my side deck. However, if I could have more of these cards, I would actually run them. However, this card's really hard to find right now. 3 copies of Pot of Extravagance, since you don't really use your Exodex that much besides making a shoe, then hoping you have a single house in your Exodex while just having a single spears. A Call by the Grave, since hand traps can still fuck you over. Monster Reborn to revive back your cards from the GY in case you don't even have Hospitality in your hand yet. Then your back row Hate, since Mystic Mind can still be played unlike in the OCG. 2 copies of Lightning Storm and 1 copy of Harpy's Feather Duster, just like how I actually play it. Next up are your one-offs of your traps. One for your downtime, while the other one's tidying. Some people run these cards at 2 or 3, but however I only like it at 1 since I don't really play that much Dragon Monsters. For Exodex, we have 3 copies of House. House can be special summon by Shoe, so you actually run this because since you don't want to banish all of them from your Extravagance. 3 copies of Shoe. This card's an Omni Negate and is actually one of the best cards since you can basically special summon free Dragonmaids each turn. 2 copies of Spears. You don't want to banish them, however you can't really make this turn 1 without also making your shoe. Then some super poly targets that you'll most likely banish in the form of for the Plant Darling Cecropia, Starving Venom, then your Atignister Earth Monster for the Cybers. Another cards you can banish such as Striker Dragon. We don't really play the field spell, however I actually have these, so I'm playing them to be banished. An access code in case you ever need it. You don't really know when you're actually gonna need it. And last but not least, a single copy of Cross Sheep, since this card can actually help you combo off farther with just a single one of these. For our side deck, we're running 3 copies of Lancia just in case you don't really want your cards to be banished. Then some traps for your crossout such as Effect Veiler, Ghost Bell, Moonlit Chill. Still think this is actually a sleeper hit. You should actually try playing this in case you ever need to. This card can actually get you for times quite often than not. Then your copy of Ghost Ogres. Then we have one of the best removals in the game, the form of Kaijus. In case you're ever fighting against Ignister, then more back row Hate, Twin Twisters, you know the drill. Twin Twisters, Cosmic Cyclones, and another name for your in case they ever use Infinite Impernians, especially since the structure deck is quite new and many people will actually have this card. Then 2 copies of Super Poly, since you're also running Super Poly targets in your Exodex even though you're not main decking this. Sometimes you might use it, sometimes you're not, so yeah. And last but not least, Mega Fleet, since as I said, so many people are buying the new Cyber Style structure deck and this might actually be quite useful. Now I'm gonna be showing you this deck's easy 1 card combo, 2 card combo in the form of Dragonmaid Parlor and any high level dragon such as Phantasme. First, you normal summon your Parlor, then you'll dump a copy of your changeover to your GY. Then you'll activate your copy of changeover, bring it back to your hand by also adding this card back to your hand. Afterwards, by having these 3 cards in your hand, you can then activate your changeovers and send these 2 to the GY, then fusion summon for a Shu. With a simple copy of a 1 card, you can then gain 1 negate with the 3500 body that can float into another one on negate. So that's basically the reason why you'll play Dragonmaid in the first place. If you ever want to pick up these cards, please pick the affiliate link down below with the code CMO5.